Good afternoon, everyone. Global floods continue. Farmer protests rock in the UK. Electrical prices skyrocketing. Auto manufacturers collapsing across Europe. Are we looking at order out of chaos? The snows in London are maybe a signal. So let's dive into it. And on the category of ill-advised, wouldn't do it, driving your motorbike through a waterfall in flood stage. Now moving over to precipitation, NOAA putting this one out, 72 hour. I want you to look at the northeast U.S. Also the west coast getting pounded with the Arc storm. And headlines just a couple days ago, blazing critical drought declared for most of Massachusetts. Not so much after all this rainfall coming your way. And also New York has urged to conserve water, driest October in 150 years. But again, trillions of gallons of water on the way. I guess we can move these scare stories to next year. But over onto the Arc storm coming on shore here. The forecast had been updated slightly to higher totals. Precipitation amounts were, 8, 6, 15 inches, 10 inches, somewhere like this. But as it started to come ashore and the energy was dissipating, those numbers have now been lowered because that rain has come out of, and the amount of devastation is absolutely shocking. The amount of trees down. It was a Category 4 hurricane, level winds. That's not even an eye wall. That is a great wall coming through the atmosphere. A little bit wider out for you here on the loop. Just so much power in the atmosphere, all unleashed in one single place. Here's your art shot for those of you that want to put this on the wall. Screen grab it. And staying in the Pacific Northwest, let's go for a square dance on top of a sequoia tree that was cut down, 1876. You think they knew that deforestation was a bad idea even way back then? Now moving over to Israel, setting all-time record rainfall in just 4 hours. 7.72 inches of rain in 4 hours. Heaviest downpour on record. Now that's just saying something right there, going on record. The vast history of that region in place. That the Mesopotamian cradle of civilization is coming back to life. Milk and honey shall return to the desert. And staying in the arid zones here, Charleville, Queensland, Australia, hitting onto the record rains again. A rare event, 1 hour with almost 3 inches of rain. But you have to realize when you're looking at a monthly total like this, and here we are back to the monthly totals again. What it looks like as rivers overflow, well actually creeks, not even rivers. It's off ABC, Australian News. You're not going to go anywhere in this. That's as far as the eye can see. So here we are again. Story after story after story. Multiple months worth of rain in hours. Years worth of rain in a day. It just continues. And as the uptick does continue, look for something on the 5 years of rain in a day. It should plateau somewhere around a decade of rain in a day. Speaking of digestive issue, this is caused by a potential toxin that's in all of the, quote, healthy foods that scientists have long been telling us to eat with a fraudulent food pyramid for the longest time. This potential toxin causes digestive issues according to Dr. Gundry, a world-renowned cardiologist. This is affecting millions of people nationwide. Warning signs include weight gain, fatigue, digestive discomfort, stiff joints, and skin problems. I can assure you that the damage is probably caused by these healthy foods. The good news is you can easily help fix the problem from your own home. You can find this information yourself, gutcleanseprotocol.com/adapt. That's gutcleanseprotocol.com/adapt. Because after years of research, Dr. Gundry has decided to release an informative video to the public for free, showcasing exactly which foods you need to avoid. gutcleanseprotocol.com/adapt, or click on that link in the description box below. And now on with the video. At least on past historical accounts going back to the year approximately 1000 AD, the journals and those that had kept in government at that time, different things that had affected their navies or society or the crop production. England and Europe have the best records, Spanish as well. But these upticks are going to continue. We are at the beginning of this phase that every time it rains, the stories were back in the journals that when they would see these fronts approaching, people would actually run for safety when they would see a front approaching. Are we back at that again? Very, very close. And not something you see every day. Snow in London in November, by the way, not even the middle of winter. This is such a rare one here. That coincides with the farmers protesting. I stand with the farmers. Well, I stand with all farmers and anybody who produces food all times, anytime, anyway. This is the way that we take our planet back. We start producing our own foodstuffs outside of supply chains. It really reduces the strain on supply chains because we're all not using it. And it gives you peace of mind knowing that your food is grown by whatever you decide to put into it, and your risk assessment and level is different for everybody, but knowing what's in your food is something good. Now, I like this one here. Almost every farmer in the UK is driving down to London, taking their tractors with them because of this new tax that will be put in. It's an inheritance tax. So if your farm's worth more than $1 million, which really only has to be about 20 acres to exceed that amount, and many of these farms have far more than that, then you have to pay 20% inheritance tax, which means your sons, daughters, grandchildren, whatever it is, they have to sell part of the farm to pay the inheritance tax. So at the minimum, it would be $200,000, and a lot of these farms far exceed that. Farming, verb / noun. The art of losing money while working 400 hours a month to feed people. Yep, that pretty much sums it up. And all that hard work is being confiscated from you, and you cannot pass it down. And imagine all the loss of skill of multi-generation farms. It is a skill. It is a lifetime of learning. You're always learning until you're done farming. There's no I know it all, ever, never. Believe me, the amount of mistakes I've made, I've found more better ways to do things than I have found good ways to do things. But once I learn from others or actually find better ways to do things that could be improved, I'm still always, looking for that next best way to do it. But the thing is, there's a lot of work. You just don't have days off. They call it animal husbandry for a reason. Even with the orchards that we have, I've got 120 fruit trees. I'm still trying to get them all really pruned back for the winter here. And it's been an ongoing process for the last month. Every night for an hour or two, go out and trim. We'll get one whole row done. Next year, we still got 5 or 6 more rows to go. We got the back field, front field. And each type of tree, you need to prune a little bit differently. And we're doing for some like goblet shapes or trying to do different shaping of different trees, whether it's the pears, the plums, the apples. And again, that's a skill set in which fertilizers they need, what time of the year, how to prune them correctly. I mean, it is a never-ending learning curve to get food on the table or get food on others' tables. And to take that knowledge base away is a travesty. And now millions more households asked to switch off their electricity to meet a unified energy market target. And these different regions here are going to start charging different electrical prices. And if we look at global electricity prices, 2019 versus 2023, I know we're in 24, haven't gotten the update yet, but hey, it'll come next year. That's all up. All the red is up. Luckily in the United States, we're the only ones that are decreasing. Look at the UK, way on the left over there. 123, that's 1.23 times more for your electricity. And Poland also 1.3 times more. That's more than doubling of your electricity price. And then they wonder why the economy is shrinking in so many places. Now, these are all the sources combined of electricity, and this goes from 2004 to 2023 for the UK. I thought all these renewables were going to come in and lower the price of electricity. I don't really see that in the chart here. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Maybe I have it upside down. Or maybe we were hoodwinked. I don't know. You're going to be required to generate your own electricity. Netherlands, you can recharge your electric device by cycling for now, but this will be rolled out even into your own home. But remember, you'll have to pay for that. And I just got to say, not a chance. Get off systems. And this is where the order out of chaos comes. As you see, our world has shifted ED, and it's continuing to move and morph. Now, all these countries are talking about new payment systems. G20 was opposed to it, but because a lot of BRICS members are in there, suddenly the sway has moved to the entire G20 has moved over. Let's restructure the whole financial system of the planet. Oh wait, BRICS was doing that already. And then our imports, exports, everything's going to be taxed and tariff everywhere across the planet. It's going to get very expensive as we move forward. But is this all part of the grand plan to redistribute wealth to a new area of the planet that shall not be so affected by what we're seeing with all these extremes in rainfall and drought? Crop production is going to be limited, reduced, but there'll be some areas on the planet that shall outperform. And it seems to me, at least in my eyes, our wealth is being transferred to these areas for the next world. And while you're thinking about getting ready, stocked up for the new world, freeze-dried beef, steak, not crumbles. Adapt2030beef.com. Use the code CLEANCOWS for 15% at checkout. And join us Thursday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight, live on Rumble and X. Studio version. As we try to make sense of this shifting world. I do appreciate you watching. Hope you got something out of it. See you next time. Bye for now.